The NFL draft is finally here in a few days, though. But on today's episode, me and Stevo, we got a few things to talk about. Will the Jacksonville Jaguars shake up the NFL draft by selecting wide receiver out of Arizona, Ted McMillian? And man, which team out there, if they draft a certain player, will be considered a reach? Y'all know me and Steve are going to talk about it and break it down, but you got to hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, with my host, Stevo. What's the word, my guy?
What's the word? What's the word? It's almost draft day. We in
It's
it.
almost draft day. We can be done with these mocks. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Tired
Is
of that shit.
everybody else mocked out too? Because I'm kind of mocked out as well. Somebody invited me on their show for tomorrow's mock, and I'm like, God damn.
Can't do
But
no more
hey,
watch, bro.
But hey, let's talk about these Jacksonville Jaguars. I just ran across something that said, hey, there was another mock. Speaking of mocks, no pun intended, that the Jacksonville Jaguars should very well consider drafting T-Mac out of Arizona. Stevo, should they go ahead and pull this off, or are you still more on the side of Mason Graham?
Hell no, y'all better not get no goddamn back. Like as a Bears fan, please do it because you gonna fuck up the draft till we gonna get somebody we end up wanting that's gonna slide. So in the retro scheme, do I want it to happen? Yes. Is it the smart decision? Hell no. Y'all need that defense. Y'all need a player like that on y'all defense. Y'all, I get it. Y'all don't necessarily have a number one wide receiver over there. Yes, but it's kind of like with the same situation when it comes to the Raiders. There are so many needs around that team that it's not one particular position where I could go and say, yeah, go get that. It's cool. Y'all need so many problems. Y'all need to fix up that line. Y'all need to fix up that defense. Y'all need to fix up the secondary a little bit. Y'all need to fix up that linebacker core a little bit. There's a lot of things y'all need to touch up over there. Hell, y'all got a new coach coming in. Different for life. Duval. Looking at like it's just a lot of things y'all got going in for y'all to be taking such a drastic stretch of a pick at the top pick that you have in what 7 or what is it
5.
5? Yeah, so to make him not only you putting big aspirations on him, you putting a hell of aspirations on your new coach, your new GM, your new everything because it's all new there. Besides your quarterback and a couple few people that you picked up over the tenure. But yeah, they're kind of like in a Raider situation. They can take the best. They should be either taking the best available talent, which is not no goddamn Take McMillan or whatever the fuck his name is. But or it shouldn't be a wide receiver in my opinion, to be honest. And if it is a wide receiver, it's not him. So T Mac, nah, that's not somebody y'all should be deciding to get, especially at 5.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I definitely agree that you have to strongly consider Ted McMillan, but I brought it up simply because I'm trying to see what Liam Cohen is going to be like. We already came in with a weird and weak Duval, but I'm also trying to think about the moves that they made this offseason. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they let Evan Ingram go. They let Josh Reynolds go. They signed De'Ami Brown and traded Christian Kirk. They ain't really got too many pass catchers back there. Currently on the roster, notable names for the Jacksonville Jaguars is Brian Thomas, which is I like him and his progression, and then Gabe Davis. It don't really move me too much, but Stevo, when I'm looking at how Liam Cohen operated in Tampa Bay, he had big wide receivers on the outside, and so some guys that can operate within that slot. Gabe Davis may be a guy that can move into that slot, and if you do decide to take a Ted McMillan, which I don't necessarily think they should do, but if you do decide to take a Ted McMillan, he kind of fits the mold to what Liam Cohen is used to, because you had Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, and now you'll have Brian Thomas 6'3", and then T-Mac 6'5" on the outsides that allow Gabe Davis to be much better in that slot, because he didn't have a solid season, in my opinion, last season. What you think about that logic?
I mean, I still get all that, but I still feel like their biggest, like if I was to give a list of needs, wide receiver is last on the top 5
Mm.
because it's, of course, it's D line first. That D line won't get no fucking pressure, so that D line definitely need help. Second thing, secondary, their cornerbacks is terrible. The quarterback room over there is not good. They definitely need to. They've been needing to address that for some years now, and they've been quite neglectful at the cornerback position. Second, and then after that, the second secondary, the safeties is garbage. So it's like everything out. Like you can't. You're not giving. And we've been harsh. We've been very harsh on their quarterback over there in Sunshine. But at the same time, me looking at it, it's like, what quarterback is good when their defense this terrible?
Yeah, because to your point, 26 in total points scored last season with 18 points per game, but they defense also ranked 25 or 26 in points given up. So to your point, you ain't stopping nobody, and you ain't scoring points either. To your whole point originally, they got a tall task ahead of them, because they got to figure out, how do you want to play this out, because you paid all this money to Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence hasn't lived up to the expectations. What I heard with Trevor Lawrence was coming out of this draft, he's a generational prospect. He's going to come in and, you know what I'm saying, light the league on fire. You had some talking heads calling him the prince and all this other stuff. He hasn't lived up to any of the expectations outside of the one playoff game to where he had a nice comeback. But before the comeback, he threw 4 interceptions. So, you know what I'm saying? He hasn't lived up to the expectations. And then how do you move forward with the guy you just paid all this money to? You got to provide it with some type of stability, and that's in the trenches. We seen teams go out there and build incorrectly from the outside in, when we seen the more productive way to build your team is from the inside out. So I'm 100% with you, because right now the only notable names on their defense as good pass rushers is Trayvon Walker and John Hines Allen. After that, you got some not so many good players in the middle of the defense, where we know if you can get some pressure up the middle, you open up a lot of things for your prime guys on the outside, like a Trayvon Walker and John Hines Allen. So 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah, and they need some guards. And they kind of like, all line wise, they kind of had the same problems with the Bears. They need some guard play, and they need a damn center. Yeah, that's the main thing they've been struggling with. They got some solid tackles, but they definitely need to address that O line as well. That's why I say, when it comes before that, O line, safeties, cornerbacks, and D line, they come way before they come for a wide receiver.
Fair enough, because I think you could do some things with Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas for sure.
Just to hold them over, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the end all be all if you just just to go with them 2 wide receivers. And there's more wide receivers that you could pick on in the later rounds that I think will still be able to fit the bill. Me personally, I agree with you 100%. T-Mac at 5. Oh, this is not a Calvin Johnson coming out of the draft.
Hell no.
This is
not even Julio.
Jamar Chase coming out of the draft. This is not one of those prospects, at least in my opinion, especially when you listen to Hall of Famer Steve Smith be like, I don't really much know. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga named DK. To be honest, like I get everybody, like Mug see a 6'5" wide receiver, eyes get big, but I'm just not impressed.
Yeah, we gotta look past the physical traits, because guys can have all the physical traits in the world, and then you could just be a bag full of mid.
Claypool.
Crazy work. But hey, y'all let us know how y'all feeling about that. If you was a GM for the Jacksonville Jaguars, would you select T-Mac out of Arizona at 5, or would you stick with the consensus with most of the mocks that's been placed out that they go with Mason Graham? Because I'm starting to hear that people believe that Mason Graham is overrated. I'm like, how?
Please say it. Keep doing it. Say it. Believe it.
Now I get it that Mason Graham had a Kenneth Grant next to him. And you know what I'm saying? And Kenneth Grant is a monster himself. But come on now. Like if we going off measurables in the draft and the combine and stuff like that, I think that people were saying he was a little lighter than what was expected, and we want to go into arm length again and stuff like that, which is necessary things to consider. But come on now, he is the best defensive tackle in this draft. There's no question about that.
Yeah, like I said, like and if you really pay attention, if you watch the tape, like yeah, he was next to Kenneth Grant, but Kenneth they had two different mentalities, two different styles. Kenneth Grant, I'm stopping the run. Mason, I'm disrupting the game, whether that's
Mm,
stopping the run or I'm going to get the quarterback. It's a difference. Like, and that's why I think that's why I'm kind of cool with either because we got some people that attack the quarterback if we don't get a Mason Graham. But I will also be cool if we get Kenneth because, like I said, Billings and Javon, not Javon, the one we just got out of Atlanta. What's his name?
Grady Jarrett.
Gary Jetty. 30 and what 29, 31 and 29, or Billings going into the league, I mean into the season gonna be 30. I won't be mad if we looking for the future and have somebody next to Gravon for the foreseeable future.
For sure. Understood. But y'all let us know where y'all mindset is on that. But the next topic before we get up out of it, we got to talk about the NFL draft. Obviously, it's just a couple days away. But there's some things that we've been hearing, and we just got to ask the question, Stevo. You're going to go ahead and kick yours off first. What would be considered a reach? Which draft pick, draft prospect that may come up and get selected would you consider to be a reach in this year's draft?
Well, I have one in particular, but I really got two now. And first, it was like I said before we got on here, is Mikael Williams. Now, don't get me wrong, he got the measurables, he has the school, the conference, it all adds up to what you want. 6'5", 250 physical, fast, quick twitch, played in the SEC, played in Georgia. That fits the description. We all know the things he got to work on. And I think the things he had to work on is the fundamental side of the ball that, most of the people that come out of college got to work on. I think that's the difference between making him a top 15 to 20 pick versus a top 10 pick. And
Mm.
that's why I think his physical traits puts him in the discussion of a top 10 to 5 pick because quite frankly, that is what we look for in the top 5 traits. But we talking about production wise and what we see on the tape and film, it leans more to the 15 to 20 pick. So if he make it past, if he's picked in the top 10, I think it's a little bit of a reach. Now, my second one, if somebody decide to reach up and get little ass Jackson Dart, because first of all, I've been watching Jackson Dart for a long time, but I did not realize that. I thought this was a 6'3", 6'4" country white boy that could swing that hoe. This motherfucker all of maybe 6'1".
Mm.
Don't
Crazy
do
work.
it. Saints, don't do it.
Yeah, and that's why I was going with my reach because I'm hearing from different insiders and talking here today that the Saints might be more interested in Jalen Milroe and Jackson Dart. That it even if Shador slides is what I'm hearing. Even if Shador slides, the New Orleans Saints, it's being reported, not necessarily true. It's just rumors right now that they may be more interested in Jackson Dart. Boy,
I
that's a hell
think
of a reach. The only way I see it making sense is if Jackson Dart goes to Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh don't have a second round pick. So at 21, they have to get a quarterback, in my opinion, because you're going to keep sitting around waiting on Aaron Rodgers. It's absolutely delusion.
yeah.
It's delusion. Now, for Jalen Milroe, second round pick for me. Second round pick. And if the Giants decide, hey, I'm not at this point, I'm on the Giants just saying, hey, give me Abdul Carter. And then early in the second, give me Jalen Milroe just because he
Let's have some
doesn't
fun.
have to
Yeah.
start right away. There will be no expectations of him starting right away with his talent, his skill set. And you can let Jameis Winston give hella great speeches and you can let Russell Wilson pray.
Or you could let the motherfucker play and just be like fucking half up. We ain't really expect you to do shit year one. Fucking half up. Go run, motherfucker.
For real, go run.
Learn,
We trying to get
go
arcs,
run
right?
and learn.
We
Learn,
trying to
learn.
go get
Yeah,
arcs.
learn on right or right. We like just fuck it. Like that's the thing I can look at. It could like it's a win-win situation if you win. You could get a fun year out of a quarterback, or he could turn into something. You never know.
For real. And plus the Giant situation too is just weird over there because
Hectic.
you don't know what the future holds for Brian Dable. And can't even think of the GM name. Joe Shane.
We don't need
Him,
to think of his
yeah.
name.
Yeah, because oh my God.
Guard.
But
He
you don't
garbage.
even know, yeah, you don't even know what the future looks like for them. So it wouldn't be too bad because if you get Shador Sanders, people gonna expect the fans gonna be wanting him to start.
I'm at this point where when I realized that his sons was smarter than him. Yeah, I just don't. If I'm a Giants fan, I just don't have no hope in this draft, regardless of who I get. Because, like I said, a 15 and I forget how old they was, but the motherfuckers wasn't in college. I know that. Them niggas is smarter than their GM father.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Told this motherfucker, both of them said, nigga, you better keep Saquon. I don't know what the fuck you doing. Then the
Facts.
niggas go ahead and say, nigga, Jalen Daniels cold. You better go get Jalen Daniels. Didn't do neither of them shits. Bitch you in the
For real.
ass twice.
Twice. Steve, I got an interesting thing for the New York Giants. I got this. And it should help them. It should, but we know who the GM is. So I'm just saying. But it should help them. If you the New York Giants, get your hands on Abdul Carter, trade Kayvon Thibodeau. Go and get you some extra draft capital. You already paid Brian Burns. Do something smart. Would it
I,
be smart for the Giants to pull that off?
I caught you trying to make sense for stupid motherfuckers. I called you. Yeah, that's very smart. That would be extremely smart. Will they do it? Hell fucking no. Because we know, for one, soon as they even talk about it, in the New York market gonna kill them. Just for even bringing that shit up. Why not put him next director? We all know it's kind of hard when you only got one. And who's to say Brian Burns gonna be the same Brian Burns that was in Carolina? Like it just you can't expect these motherfuckers to be that smart because they ain't. What was the last move they did smart?
I don't know. Maybe paying Brian Burns.
That's
Maybe.
about it. That's about it. But that's very fucking obvious. That's common sense. Like if you don't know, that's a top production dude in this league. Pay him. Okay, simple.
No brainer, huh?
Slap in your face.
For sure. For sure.
You would think this is a slap in their face, but they ain't gonna do it.
Oh yeah, that's definitely right there. You should absolutely, and I wouldn't even be trying to be too thirsty for additional capital for K Don Thibodeau. I wouldn't be too thirsty. Hey, fourth round pick. I don't know, third, maybe
Nah, I'm getting at least third
fourth,
or second.
second. That's what you. But the team that get him got to pay him. They
I
shouldn't have to
mean,
pay him much though.
I mean, depends on the season. Yeah, I say that.
Well, yeah, he been up and down his career so far, so you might be able to talk him down. First year is 4 sacks, 2023 11 and a half, and then last year 5.5. So it's been up and down. You could probably talk him down. Third.
Possibly.
Ain't
That's
that, but
possible.
the Giants gonna give him away for a fifth.
They gonna do it. Us with Justin on me.
A fifth. It's gonna be a conditional fifth round pick. Oh, the real crazy work. But hey, you got anything left, brother?
Nah, I'm kind of hope this episode is they right, and both of these motherfuckers be stupid.
On the real, go ahead and make something happen for me. Y'all already know. But that is it from us today, y'all. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of NFL Central. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. And let us know your thoughts down below. Make sure you stay locked in for this week. We're talking all things draft, so we can go ahead and move on and talk about how the teams performed, who did the worst, who performed the best to improve their teams. And y'all already know we're going to be right here to give y'all this great content. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. And y'all already know we're going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace.
Hey.